where we face fear and we put our faith and it conquered it. We put Jesus first and he overwhelmed. He overwhelmed. All across the country as I traveled doing COVID work, you could see the power of the Lord working in the folks that I rendered assistance to. A lot of people ask for medical care, but most ask for prayer. Prayer! Imagine that. Where did they learn all this stuff about prayer? Where? Well, I'll tell you. First of all, Happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
Wonderful day. And you know, a lot of times, especially guys, we credit a lot of our knowledge in mechanics and electronics and technical stuff to our dads. But my brother and I, growing up, credit a lot of our finesse and our learning of how to treat people, especially girls, to our mom. My mom was very influential in my life. She treated my brother and me and gave us as much as they could. My mother taught me about the world around me. That you don't treat everybody the same way. You have to be respectful. You have to be kind. And she did it in the most loving way. If I ever got out of hand, she'd smack me. And she loved me, but she's still at 86 years old. She told me and tells my brother in a loving way, get out of hand, I'll still smack you. Talks to Cindy and says, is he behaving? She'll send me to my room when she has to. She is not afraid. She has no fear. And a lot of faith in the Lord will keep her around for a long time. It's funny. Because my mom was there. I can think back to my dad. My dad was there for a lot of accomplishments and a lot of milestones in my life. But it was my mom that healed me, or helped to heal me. That would comfort me in my moments of time. If I fell off a bike, got all straightened up, it was my mom who came along with mercurochrome. Who remembers mercurochrome? Anybody? Yeah. Mercurochrome, methylate, famous old names. I'm definitely dating myself. And told me it's okay. My mom was there at my first heartbreak. For my first romance when I was young. I was only in middle school. I was only 14. And my heart was broken. And I came home in tears and I would never love again. And I would remember her name for the rest of my life. I'm still trying to remember her name today. Because it's been that long. I don't remember her name. I'm sure she doesn't remember me either, but that's okay. But it was my mom who imparted on me a lot of the faith. You know, I know of an anecdote where several preachers got together. And usually the preachers get together and we start talking about what? Shop. We're talking about faith. We start talking about the congregations. We start talking about the Bible. And in this conversation, one of the preachers said, you know, I love the King James Version for its eloquent use of the language, the English language. It's really great. I love it. Another one came forth and said that nothing can match the American Standard for its faithfulness to the original Greek and Hebrew. Another one said, hey, you know, that's all great and wonderful, but I love the New International Version for its contemporary language and easy readability. So a lot of people in this age don't have to tangle with the these and thous, especially ESOL like me, who have a problem. What is a thee and thou? I have to learn. And then the fourth minister kind of thought about it. He said, you know, I like my mother's translation best. And all the other three were like, what? Your mother translated the Bible? I said, yeah, she did. She translated the Bible into her everyday life. And it was through that translation that I came to know Jesus Christ and accept Him in my life. So to mothers, I say, thank you. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the tears. Thank you for the many nights that you prayed for us, your children. Because I look back on 61 years and I can tell you that if it wasn't for prayer of my mother, I wouldn't be here right now. I just wouldn't be here right now because that thing, that old adage of hold my soda and watch this, I coined it. Take my word for it. I coined it. Today we're going to talk about a mom and a grandmother. Two women in the Bible. In fact, grandmother, the only time you ever find the word grandmother is in this very text that we're going to use today. We're going to talk about Timothy. Timothy was a man that was an apostle. Not really an apostle, but more like an heir to the apostle Paul. Paul knew very many people. But he found in Timothy the strongest faith that he had ever seen in anyone else. And what Barnabas couldn't be to Paul, Timothy definitely was. So much so that Paul recognized where this faith came from. And so it says in 2 Timothy 1:5, when I call to remembrance the genuine faith that is in you, which dwelt first in your grandmother Lois and your mother Eunice, I am persuaded is in you also. And why is that? Because these two women were very influential in Timothy's life. These two women demonstrated, didn't just talk about the Bible, but lived the Bible, lived the Holy Word. And it was that testimony that guided Timothy on the path that Paul would turn over his ministry to. Think about it. Here's the Apostle Paul, near the end of his life, looking on Timothy as his spiritual son. We understand that Paul possibly never married, didn't have any children. But yet he looked on Timothy as a son, as a spiritual son, because his faith was so much aligned with his own, with Paul's own. In verse 5 of 2 Timothy, Paul says, Timothy, I know that your grandmother and her faith is authentic. It's the same faith that was in Ruth, the mother. So you're looking at a transition, a family lineage. Family lineage. It's passed on. You know, us as children, at a young age, who do we take our examples from? Our parents. People talk about, well, you know, where do we learn? Well, our earliest memories are made with our parents. We take their values. We take their habits. Anybody remember and was willing to admit it? You sat in the back seat and drove a car with the invisible steering wheel? Anybody besides me? I'm an ass man. I thought you used to sit back there and turn the little stick and put out my hand and the whole 9 yards. Why? Because I saw my parents doing it. As a fireman, I learned that many cases of arson that were done by children were done in imitation of the parents striking a match. Little piece of stick, little red top, put it on the side of the back. Ooh, fire! And that's why kids play with matches. Because they learn from their parents. They learn from their parents. Of course, these have tragic results. So we as parents have the responsibility, especially mothers, take on the responsibility of guiding these children. They're offspring, they're young. And we see it all through the animal kingdom, not just in humans, but everything. The mother is usually the one that takes care of the offsprings. Dads work, moms take care of the kids. It's been that way for millennia, true? Except for now when we've all had to go to work. But you know, if there's a positive landing to this whole COVID-19 self-isolation thing, is that families came back together under one roof. And parents became parents again. Because while dad was at work or sitting in the office at home doing his work, who was it that was giving the kids their lessons in school online on the computer. Was it just the teacher? No. It was the parents. They got involved. Mom got involved. Mom taught their kids lessons. And what's happened? Families have come together. Families have actually come together. Wow, the family unit is back. And moms have led the way. Moms have been the whole along. Whether we give them credit or not, we should. Because I'll tell you that these two ladies, and imparting to Timothy, had to have lived an extremely strong spiritual life. Because it wasn't just the spiritual life they live on a Sunday. This is an everyday thing. Because a lot of people live the spiritual life from 9 to noon on a Sunday when they come to church. True or not? Get the kids up, we gotta go to church. Why? Because we gotta go see God. But a true Christian mom, a Christian grandma, will teach their child that this is a building and that God resides within them. And they are part of the family of God. And that their actions are seeable, or viewable by God at all times, and just up between 9 and noon on Sunday in this building. You see, moms rear the kids. They teach the kids. What's important? What's important? Now, I'm not taking anything away from fathers, because fathers have their own responsibility in raising the young. But mothers are the ones that are the caretakers. And God has blessed us with mothers. Because there is no other type of human being on the planet that can teach us with as much love and dedication and determination as a mother. You want to find God's love on this planet? Look at a woman, look at a mother, look at a grandmother. No matter what you do, no matter where you go, no matter how bad you've been, your mom will always do what? It's okay, dear. Come on. Here, let me give you something to eat. That's what a human mother says. That's what I'm like. My wife, Cindy, when she first met my mother, loved her. Oh, Cindy, you're so wonderful. Then looked at me and said, you better be good to her or else. I didn't do anything yet. Don't do it. And then she fed Cindy. Now Cindy's going to scraps. Got to take care of her. Because she's the rearing kind. When I first met my mother-in-law, God bless her, sits in a special place in heaven, and I miss her every day. When I first met her, honey, you look thin. Are you kidding me? And she made me a breakfast to feed a banquet. And then everybody else fought for scraps. I had to eat all this. Because I didn't want to insult her. She showed me love. Unconditional. Agape love. And there's only one other place off this planet you'll find that, and that's with Jesus Christ. Where no matter what you do, you can be forgiven. God created moms to be a reflection of His love to us in physical form on this planet. On this planet. Someone that we can go to, someone that will take care of us. Someone that will demonstrate to us agape love. Agape love. Unconditional love. The writer Washington Irving wrote about moms this way. A father may turn his back on his child. Brothers and sisters may become intimate enemies. Husbands may desert their wives and their wives their husbands. But mother's love endures through all. In good repute and bad repute, in the face of the world's condemnation, a mother still loves on and still hopes that her child may turn from his evil ways and repent. Still she remembers the infant smiles that once thrilled her bosom with rapture, the merry laugh, the joyful shout of childhood, the opening of promised youth. She can never be brought to think of her child as unworthy. As unworthy. Where else can we find that kind of love? Jesus Christ. Well, no matter what, even the men who drove the nails into his skin found that love. And found that what? Forgiveness. Because Christ always hopes that we will turn from our evil ways. Just like a mother. Just like a mother. Folks, we need to reach out to our moms and grandmas. We need to take an example from them. We need to be living our lives the way they intended us and God to be. We need to be telling our children about Jesus. These two women lived the exemplary life for Timothy. Are we living and imparting that exemplary life to our children or our grandchildren? Ask ourselves that. Are we being examples of good, moral, Christian people to the young of today? I can tell you that a great many parents have learned how difficult the job of a teacher is these last 12 weeks. Why? They've had to become teachers themselves. So there's a new appreciation for teachers. But not everything is left to just the teacher. Parents need to be teaching the scriptures to their children. Because there is no greater weapon for combating the social decay that we're in the middle of than God's holy word. There is nothing greater that can keep our children from drugs, alcohol, pornography than God's holy word. When our children are faced with these temptations, are we preparing them to answer no because the Bible says no, God says no, I say no? Because my parents taught me. My parents taught me. My parents taught me that, hey, you want an answer to life? Don't worry about Funko Wagner, don't worry about the internet, you'll find it right here. And if it's not in here, you don't need to have it. You don't need to be doing it. You need to be staying what? Fleeing from it. Staying away from it. You need to be living your life. And moms lead this parade. Moms keep the household together. The 19th century theologian Stanley Jones wrote, "The wife and mother usually hoist the sails of the family ship every day to determine whether those sails shall catch the breeze of God's love and understanding or the winds of bickering and discord." That same person adds, when a man succeeds, he does so by climbing a ladder steadied by a woman or a mother who believes in him. And that's very true. That is absolutely true. Because when my father told me, be successful, my mother encouraged me when my times were down, when my grades were poor, when I thought I was so frustrated I was just going to walk away. My mom said, no, honey, you need to go back in there, take a deep breath, and hit it again. You can do this. And I did. And I did. And I still call her today. And I tell her my griefs, like I tell my wife. And usually the answer is carbon copy. You can do it. I stand behind you. I love you. And it is the voice of God that I'm hearing. In that love, in that woman. Because my mom left Cuba, but we had a semi-comfortable life under communism. But she wanted her sons to be born in a free and democratic society where they could be whatever they wanted to be. Hence, we migrated to the United States. And where my parents worked regular day jobs and a night job to keep us fed and under a roof, they always told us, go to school, be successful. My mom said, let God guide you to where He wants you to be, to what He wants you to be. Did I always listen? Tell me a teenager that does. I've had five. I can guarantee you that Cindy was the one that guided my kids best. Because I was to a point of like, and see that, let me handle this. And it would happen. And not because I was an inadequate father to my children, but there is a certain finesse that a mom uses that reaches your heart in a certain way that nobody else can. It's a God. It's a God. Have we remembered our moms today, or are we just remembering them because it's Mother's Day? Do we remember them every day? Do we remember God every day? Do we remember the blessings that we've been receiving on an everyday basis, including our mothers and grandmothers? And many of us think, well, I don't have children. My children are grown and gone. You know? It was always funny growing up in Miami, in the West Side, because all of my friends' mothers were really like my mom. And even though I was a strange kid from another country, to a lot of my American friends, there was never a time where any one of their moms didn't give me a snack or a sandwich or invite me to ride in the car with them. Because that love was there for all children. It's that motherly instinct that can take you and change you. And even if you don't have a mom, believe me, you do. You have it all around you. You have it all around you. And in the same way, we need to be examples of that love that's been imparted upon us, that faith that's been imparted upon us on the next generation. On the next generation. Because if there's ever a conduit that the Lord gave to a family, guide them in His direction, it's through the mom. It's through the woman of the house. Because He is right. She keeps the ship rolling. I may be the oarsman, but she keeps it going in that direction. She keeps it off the reef. She sees the tempest coming. She knows how to take in the sails. She knows how to solve the problems. Not that I can't, but I know that when I'm on ship, when I'm on duty, when I'm away with the federal government doing my job, my children and grandchildren have my wife, who I adore, and I'm very thankful for, and can handle any problem that comes along without having to call me wherever I am and say, what do you think of this? I usually hear about it down the road, which is great. It's been taken care of in a very efficient manner, very loving manner. Because my wife, Cindy, well, you all know her. She's funny. She's loving. But she's probably, outside of my mother, the biggest support I've ever had. Those two are cheerleaders for me. Are cheerleaders for me. And they catch me at my highs, and they caught me before I hit the floor. All through my life, my mother, my wife, have caught me before I hit the floor. And no matter what I've done, good, bad, or indifferent, they've always said it's okay. What does the Bible say? When I was young. And it's that faith that was imparted upon me that when the Lord decided to call me to ministry, I was hesitant at first, but then I realized that my mom had played a part in that, in putting my feet in the direction of Jesus Christ. Look back in your lives and tell me that your mother or grandmother were not influential Look back in your lives and tell me that your mother and grandmother were not loving, were not caring, were not sharing. We're not always just trying to encourage you, no matter what. And there you have it, all throughout millennia. All throughout millennia. When are we going to come to realize that outside of one day a year? When are we going to come to realize and recognize Jesus Christ more than one day a year at Easter or at Christmas? Folks, it's about time we start giving thanks. Thanks to the Lord for the blessings that we receive. Thanks to the Lord for what we've been blessed with. Because a great many people wish they had their moms and grandmothers back. And those of us that still have them here, enjoy the ride. Because once they're gone, believe me, it is a part of you that you miss, because I miss my mother-in-law. And I didn't have her for all the years that Cindy had her, but boy, do I wish I did. And I miss her greatly. I don't have any secrets about that. I miss my mom, Janoyce, big time. And I wish I had my mom, Sonia, here with me, but she still lives in Miami. Why? Don't ask. I have no idea either. But you know, she's just a phone call away. Like the Lord is just a prayer away. Have you reached out to your mom? Have you reached out to the Lord? Have you imparted your knowledge on the next generation? Are you yourself following the teachings that Timothy received when he was young? Because there's only one way that you learn the Bible. That's by studying it, by learning it, by being in your life. These two women obviously led Timothy down that road. These two women obviously guided Timothy, encouraged Timothy, to the point that he stood out to Paul rather than everybody else, and saw him as natural heir to the ministry. Can you fathom something like that? Out of all the people the Apostle Paul knew, out of all the ministries that he helped, this one man stood out as his heir. Imagine the depth of faith that Timothy had, and the wealth of love, support, and education in the Bible he received from his mother and grandmother. We know that Timothy's dad was what? A Greek. We know very little about him after that. But we know who held the faith, and we know who imparted that faith. Same people that guided us through the rough part of our life, our mothers, our grandmothers. Women are natural mothers. God has blessed us with that. And I say blessed us because, believe me, there was more than a mom around me that guided me. Though I had mom, there were moms all around that would say, don't do that. And then by the time I get home, Mrs. Burton told me this. Darn it! Because they made sure that the kids all stayed going in the same direction. And it was important to communicate that. And even though it may have been a minor offense, it was important enough that the parents knew. So my mom would talk to me and say, you know better than that. And it wasn't wait till your dad gets home. It was, I'm taking this care of myself. Because you're my son and I love you. The same way Jesus Christ is telling each and every one of us, you're my son, my daughter, and I love you. So when are we going to turn away from our sin? When are we going to recognize and give credit where credit is due? Because if we had to do it all by ourselves, folks, believe me, we'd all still be in exercise Kimby Pampers, trying to waddle around and learn how to walk, how to eat, how to sleep, how to talk. But it was our moms who helped us do all that. It was our moms who, through the love of God, showed us Him. Showed us Him. So where are you today, Christian? Have you picked up the phone and called? Have you gone to the Lord in prayer and say thank you if your mom is going on? It's not just sending them a flower by 1-800-flowers.com and saying, okay, well, I've done my responsibility, check mark. It's a lot more than that. It's more than the card. Write them a letter. Write them a letter from your heart. Look back at your life and say, man, boy, Mom, yeah, Dad taught me mechanics and electricity, hopefully not to burn a house down. But when I was down, when it was tough and the world was getting on my back, you were there to show me somebody greater that would liberate me from all these problems. You showed me Jesus. And if your mom's going on, then a prayer to her through the Lord, thanking Him for her. And be sure to know that she sits in a very special place in heaven this day. Looks down upon us and is still interceding for us with the Lord, I'm sure. Because I know that my mom is still here, and the day she goes on, I dread. But I know that her parting words to me will be, I'll be watching you. And she will, too. My mom fears nobody. Let us pray. Lord Jesus, we come to the end of the special Mother's Day service. I thank you, Lord, for all the mothers and grandmothers that made such an influence in our lives, Lord, for the love, for the wiping of the runny nose and Band-Aid or the skinned knee, for the comforting touch and healing of tough parts of our life, for the lessons that we've learned that were imparted upon us by them. Most special, the lesson of faith in you. Lord, I ask you to bless them, to protect them. To those that you have called home, Lord, to continue to hold them close to you. To those that are still here, continue to guide them, Lord, continue to strengthen them. Because without them, Lord, we would be much. Just like we without you. Lord, for those of us who are ill, this or any other illness, healing hands upon them, that you continue to work through the doctors, the nurses, the paramedics, all the medical professionals. We continue to make advances on this and all illnesses, Lord. That those that have gone on, Lord, a comforting touch upon their loved ones that remain, that they are not lost, but only sit at your table of plenty, fully restored and healthy. For those that are lost, Lord, in this planet, make us beacons and lights, that we may reach out to them with the love that the mother and our grandmothers imparted upon us, using the faith that you told these women to impart into us, and we have, that we demonstrate to others your love, your acceptance, Lord. That one day, all may be saved and none lost, that we may stand as your children, side by side, through all eternity, Lord, praising you. I pray this in your holy name.